it just so happened that they liked to, they used Future Games as a title track and of the album, and also the name of the album and stuff. In fact, that song was Cameron Crowe put it in Almost Famous, that rock movie.
Right.
Last year. But the thing, I mean, it's like the musical collaborations. And Danny and I mean, we sounded good together and all that stuff. But working with him was just person was so tense. It was so tense, and it went on for a couple of albums, and then one tour he.
That's what critiqued you, right?
On the Walking the Fine Tightrope, and he got upset about something. I remember he had this Black Beauty Les Paul in the dressing room, which was kind of like, the locker room of a sports arena or something. And he threw this Les Paul against the wall, and it hit the floor and boinged. And then he went out and sat at the sound mixer's board and watched it. He didn't do the set. He sat at the mixing board and watched it. And we had to play the whole set without his parts. And then he came back and said, you sounded pretty good, but I would have. And then he gave his big, long critique of how we sang. It was just like, and that, I think, was the night that was the last straw.
This is after you had recorded Bear Tree?
Huh?
This is after you had recorded Bear Tree?
Yeah, this is after Bear Tree. This is on the Bear Tree. Probably we were touring America. It was probably in, 72 or something, late 72.
And that was kind of like a breakthrough for you guys, more so than Future Games, because Sentimental Lady was getting a lot of airplay.
Yeah, Warner's had released Sentimental Lady as a single, the original version of Sentimental Lady, and then, it was doing fairly well, and then I think, I know what happened is simultaneously or in the same time period, Arlo Guthrie put out City of New Orleans, that song, and Warner Brothers decided to chase that one, which, how it happens in business, it became a priority single, so that they sort of let Sentimental Lady go down the tubes and not become a hit. They didn't put their backing behind it. So, which is really the main reason I decided to recut it 5 years later, because I thought it probably had potential to be a hit, so did everybody else, really, at the time.
So, next comes Penguin, right?
That was Penguin. It was, when we fired Danny Kerwin, we had been on tour with Savoy Brown, and their lead singer was a guy named Dave Walker, who was like a really good English, Savoy Brown blues shouter, really big foghorn voice, and he used to wear the snakeskin boots, and turquoise jewelry, and we also done a lot of gigs with opening up for Deep Purple, who also had the big front man with the, with a fist in the air,
right,
when they were starting all that stuff,
right,
the big man. So we kind of said, well, what if maybe what we ought to do? We fired Danny, so maybe we ought to get a front man, just a real front man. We've been more an ensemble band, man. We said, well, maybe we should get Dave. So we asked Dave if he wanted to do it, and he said, yeah. And then we got Long John Baldry's guitar player, Bob Weston, who we also admired. And we put both those guys in the band. So Penguin album was with those two people. The problem was that unfortunately, after recording the record with Dave, we realized it just didn't fit.
Yeah, it really did.
It just did not fit the what Fleetwood Mac was. It was too much of a contrast. We had blues shouting songs, and then then you come on this delicate harmony thing, and it just didn't fit. So we felt kind of bad about it, and we had to. Dave actually did the record, and then then he left. So we asked him to leave, and it wasn't because he wasn't good. But there's some interesting things in that record. That's probably the most obscure one that I did.
Oh yeah, I mean you got Revelation, which you wrote. Did You Ever Love Me? I think you wrote that with Christine, didn't you?
Yeah, I think so.
And then Night Watcher, and It's Like Fire. That was when I listened to the album. Those are the songs that I picked out.
Yeah,
I completely would skip over Walker's contribution and the other, because to me it just didn't fit. I'm like you. I thought, no, this is not Fleetwood Mac. To me it was.
He did a version of Roadrunner, which is, nobody in a million years could ever imagine Fleetwood Mac doing a Junior Walker song, with the vocals and all that. We did a note for note cover of Roadrunner. The only thing we could think of to do, really. But it didn't fit the record.
So you lose Bird Walker, you still have Weston, and then you go in to do Mystery to Me.
Yeah, the Mystery to Me band was probably the strongest lineup of the middle period Fleetwood Mac that I was in. It was certainly the album was a real good album, hung together well, and we were getting a lot of airplay. And had we stayed on tour, that record probably would have really done.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it wound up, being a platinum record, in the long run. But what happened in that tour is that Bob Weston was having an affair with Fleetwood's wife. I mean, this is and Mick, it became too uncomfortable for him, so we stopped the tour right in the middle of it. We canceled about 3 months worth of dates.
Yeah, so you lost airplay of Immortalize and Hypnotize.
Yeah, Hypnotize was getting quite a lot of airplay. Hypnotize was never really a single, but it was getting a ton of airplay. In fact, to this day, that song is like, it's become when you walk into Walmart and you hear,
Oh yeah.
They're playing Hypnotize on the music. It's one of those things that's hung in there for 25 years.
Well, and then you got Miles Away. I mean, that shows up in the FM once in a while.
There were, just the entire record really hung together well, and I think that's probably my favorite record out of the ones I did with them.
Now, you throw in For Measure, For Your Love. What possessed you to put that in for Fleetwood Mac record?
When we got to LA with the album and played it for Warner Brothers, they said, well, we like it, but there's no single.
Right.
And I guess it wasn't,